refers to the quantity, basically quantity. Okay, but those quantity we are seeing as some or all. So what I'll write here, the quantifiers are the word that refer to quantities such as some or all. Okay, so basically this quantifier tells for how many element a given predicate is to. Okay, we will have a predicate, and for how many elements that given predicate is true, that we are going to find it out with the quantifiers. Okay, so if I want to describe the quantifiers in English, then quantifiers are used to express the quantities without giving an exact number, student. Okay, so quantifiers are used to express the quantity without giving an exact number. For suppose example, if I want to give all, some, many, more, few, okay, these are the words that we'll be using with respect to quantifiers. Example, can I have some water? Okay, so quantifier is basically referring to the quantity, okay, which will describe those quantity in terms of some and all. Okay, now basic approach here, basic application in terms of this mathematics with respect to quantifier is to predicate, to predict and to find whether the predicate is true or not. Okay, so what are the types of quantifier? So we will see the types of quantifier with a simple example, and you will come to know what this quantifier is and what are the types of quantifier. The first type of quantifier is universal quantifier. Universal quantifier. And the second type is existential quantifier. Okay. Now let us take first quantifier, that is universal quantifier. Universal word, just observe this universal word. Universal means for all. Okay. By default, for all will come in a picture, right? So we'll take one example, student. Let P of X be a statement like x plus 1 greater than 1, x. Okay. So P of X is a statement, and the statement mathematically we are representing as x plus 1 is greater than x. So what I'll do here is I will take different values for x, and I will find it out for those values what that statement is giving, whether that statement is giving me true value or false value. Okay. So basically quantifier tells how many elements a given predicate is true. So here we are checking for how many elements this the given statement would be true. To do that, what I have to do is I have to put the value of x here. Okay, suppose I want to find it out p of 1. That means I'm putting the value of x as 1. So what would be p of 1? It would be 1 plus 1 greater than 1. Okay, so it is 2 greater than 1. Whether this statement is true here, yes, I can say that 2 is greater than 1. So the given statement is it's true for given value of x, that is 1. Let us take for the next value p of 2. So 2 plus 1 greater than 2. Check it out. 2 plus 1 is 3. Whether 3 is greater than 2? Yes. So it is true. Okay. So if you put the further values, okay, you will be getting the statement as true only. Okay. So at this point, can I say that Px is true for all positive integer? Px is true for all positive integer integers x. Okay. So Px is true for all positive integer x. Okay. And how do I represent it mathematically with quantifier? So you can use this symbol. Okay. So this is a quantifier, student. What it is? Quantifier. Okay. So for all x, Px is true. For all, the symbol represent for all. Okay, universal quantifier it is. Okay, so for all positive integer x, px is true. Okay, so this is how we are going to use quantifier in order to say, or in order to show for how many elements the given predicate is true. So here for all positive integer x, the given statement is true, and mathematically with this symbol we will represent it. Okay, so this is all about universal quantifier. Let us check for existential quantifier. Now student, you have got what is universal quantifier. Okay, what could be the existential quantifier? Can anyone tell me? Yes, anyone? What could be existential quantifier then? Universal means what we are saying for all, right? What could be existential quantifier? Okay, I'll give you example, you will come to know. Basically, existential means here we are describing the word sum. Okay, in a universal quantifier, we have described the word all. Here we are describing sum. Sum. Okay, for some value we are describing here. Let us take example. You will come to know what it is. Let q of x be the statement as x less than 2. Okay. Now tell me, student, if I'll put x is equal to 1, what will happen? Whether the statement would be true? Quickly say everyone. Whether the statement would be true here? Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Am I audible, student?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So whether the statement would be true for x is equal to 1 here?
Yes, ma'am.
No one is saying yes, true or false?
True.
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 True. Okay. Are you getting it, student? I'm not getting quick reply. Are you getting all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So let q of x be the statement where statement is represented by x less than 2 mathematically. Okay. So what we are doing here, I'm putting x is equal to 1 and I'm trying to find it out q of 1. So q of 1 means x is 1 I'm putting. Just put x is equal to 1 here. Whether 1 is less than 2? Yes. So this statement is true, right? Or x is equal to 1. Similarly, put x is equal to 2 and tell me what would be the result, student?
False.
False.
Yes. So 2 less than 2, false. Okay, if I'll put 3, obviously it is going to be false. 4, false. Okay. Now, if I'll ask you one question, is there here, is there some value of x for which this q of x is true? Yes or no? Is there some value of x for which q of x is true here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So q of x is true for x is equal to 1. So I will say that q of x is true for x is equal to 1. Therefore, there is an element x for which q of x is true. Therefore, there is an x for which q of x is true. And how you are going to describe it mathematically? You'll be using or you'll be writing it as the symbol x. So what this symbol is? There exists. Okay? There exists. This symbol represent there exists. There exists x. Okay? There exists x for which your q of x is true. Okay? So If I want to represent it in a statement, there exists some x for which q of x is true. And what is that x value is 1. Okay, so what you have to remember, student, this symbol is for all. Okay, and this symbol is there exist. Okay, so these symbols you have to use. The first is what? Universal quantifier, and the second is what? Existential quantifier. Okay, universal quantifier for all. Whenever we need to have an application where universally we are applying and universally we are saying for all these values the given predicate or the given statement is true, then we will be referring to it as a universal quantifier. Okay, but whenever we'll have a statement, okay, which is giving us result for some value, the statement is giving us result as a true, and for other values it is going to give us a result as a false. Okay, so for some values I'm getting the result as true for the given predicate or the statement. At that time I'll be using which quantifier, student? Existential quantifier. Okay, I hope you have understood this two quantifier: universal quantifier and existential quantifier. Yes, student? Okay, so can we
Yes,
move
ma'am.
for the next unit, student? I need your acknowledgement. Can we move for the next unit, relations?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this was the last topic, small topic for the first unit. First unit we have done with. Okay, now we are moving to the second unit, that is relation. Okay, now before going for the relation, what its application we will try to understand, and for what purpose we are studying all these units and the content of these units that we are going to see. So I will write the second unit start as okay. The student, whenever you'll be in a third year, last year, okay, you will be studying the application oriented content. Okay, so application you will study, you will try to implement the application, but you cannot directly move or jump to the application. You need to clear your basic, right? So basically, relation, when this relation or term will come in a picture, whenever you will work on a different object, student. Okay, so you will have a collection of object in an application. Okay, and you will try to find out the relation or correlation between those objects. You will try to recognize how the objects are related to each other in your application. Okay, so in order to find it out, what is a relation? Suppose you are having 10 object, okay, in your project, in your application. Okay, you're working on a 10 object in your project. Okay, in order to implement, in order to develop that project, how the object 1 is behaving with the object 2, how the object 1 is behaving with the object 4, how the object 1 is behaving with the object 10. Is there any relationship between the object 1 and 10? Okay, all these things, student, you are going to study, you are going to find it out. So in order to find the relationship between the objects, okay, we are going to study the further concept. Okay, so mathematically, how we are going to find it out those relation, okay, that we are going to see. So this topic and this unit is very much important, student. Okay, so see, I'll give you example. Okay, suppose I need to find it out the relation between 5 and 15. Okay, if I'm giving example of two numbers 5 and 15, what could be the number of relation possible for these two numbers 5 and 15? First relation, I can say that 5 divides 15. That is the first relation. I can correlate, I can connect these two numbers, right, as a divide operation. So 5 divides 15, that is a one relation I could observe immediately. The second relation I could have as 5 is less than 15. Okay, so number of correlation, number of relations you will have between these two numbers or two objects, I would say here. Okay, so the relation may exist between the several objects in your application. Okay, now we will see what is definition of the relation. Okay, and then we will see the types as well as the representation of relation. Okay, so we'll see the typical definition of relation, student. So definition is a relation between two set A and B is a subset of A cross B, and it is denoted by R. Okay, I'll write it and you will come to know what it is. Okay, definition, a relation between two sets A and B is subset of A cross B and denoted by capital R. Okay, so R will be always a subset of A cross B, that you need to remember. Okay, now here what we are going to do, student, in this whole unit, we are going to find it out the relationship between the two sets. Okay, so here if I want to define the relation between two sets, how I'm going to define a relation between two sets A and B is a subset of Cartesian product of A and B, and which is denoted by R. Okay, so A Cartesian product B. Suppose A I am having, you know, A and B cross product. A is equal to suppose 1, 2 I am having. B is equal to suppose 3, 4 I am having. So A cross B, how I am going to write, student? It would be 1, 3, 1, 4. So this to this, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Then 2, 3, 2, 4. 2, 4. Okay. So this would be your Cartesian product, right? So the relation, whatever the relation, you will find it out. That would be always a subset of A Cartesian B or A cross product B. A cross B. Okay. So you cannot have 10 elements as a relation for A and B for the given set. Okay. It has to be a subset of A cross B. So how many elements you are getting? How many pairs you are getting? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So within that 4 limit only you will have your relation. Okay. You cannot have a 5 order pair as a relation. Okay. For the given set A is equal to 1, 2 and set B is equal to 3, 4. So this is a basic thing that you should be knowing today. Whatever the relation we will be finding from A to B, set A to B, would be always the subset of A cross B. Okay. Now, next to it, very interesting fact we will have. A cross B is a set of order pair XY such that, now we will see this is as order pair XY such that, now X and Y. So this is 1 and 3. So X and Y. So this 1 and 3, we are calling it as an order pair. Okay. Such that X belongs to A and Y belongs to B. That means 1 belongs to A and 3 belongs to B. Okay. So whenever we will refer or whenever we will have a term X comma Y, we will call it as an order pair where X will be belonging to set A and Y will be belonging to set B or first or second set, you can say. So one element from the first set, second element from the another set. Whenever you will have an order pair, definitely the first element you are going to have from the first set and the second element you are going to have from the second set. Okay. Now there are some terms associated with this relation, student. What are those? Those are domain, codomain, and range. Let me write down this. I hope everyone writing down the important terms with respect to relation. This is totally different topic for all of you students. Okay, so I hope everyone is writing the important terms. So first term you are having it as domain. The second is codomain. And the third is range. Okay. So what is this domain is? Domain is a set of all first element of the order pair. Now, if you check out this example, simple example, student, what are the order pair we are getting here? 1, 3, okay, 1, 4, 2, 3, and 2, 4. Now, if I'm saying that domain is a set, I'll say first is domain, second is codomain, and third is range. Okay. So suppose I'm taking A is equal to 1 comma 2 and B is equal to 3 comma 4. Okay. And I'm having in a relation as order pair as 1 3, 1 4, then 2 3 and 2 4. Okay. So this is a relation I'm representing for set A and B. Okay. Now, with respect to domain, what is the definition of domain? Domain set of all first element. All first element. Okay. Of order pair. X comma Y. So, what would be the domain for this given relation? The domain would be first element is 1 here. I'll put. Okay. Then the first element for the XY next order pair is 1 again. Okay. Then next is 2 and 2. Okay. So 1, 1, 2, 2, I'll be writing here. Okay. Codomain. Codomain. Okay. I'm just giving you a simple example. Okay. After this, I'm going to give you an example to find it out. Domain, codomain, and range. You just see what is definition of domain, codomain, and range. Try to get the definition first. Okay. Then and then only you will be able to solve the problem. Codomain. Now, codomain is what? The entire set B is called codomain. Entire set B is called as codomain. So, what would be codomain in this case? Would be the entire set is 3 comma. Okay, so entire set B is a codomain. Now, third, range. Okay, so what is range? The set of all second element of the order pair in a relation R is a range. So, set of second element. Okay, second element. So how I'll be putting range? Range is equal to, just observe, what is the second element? 3, 4, 4, sorry, 3 and then 4. Okay, so this would be the range for this given relation R. Okay, so what is important? Domain, you have to remember all first element of the given order pair. Whatever the given order pair they have given, you have to pick the first element and you have to put it in a domain. Okay, codomain, entire set B is a codomain for the given relation. And the ranges, you will have to pick the second element from each and every order pair for the given R, and then you have to form range. Okay, I hope you have got the definition of domain, codomain, and range. Yes, student, are you able to solve a simple problem with respect to these three terminologies? Quickly say yes or no. Yes, student. Have you got what is domain, codomain, and range for the given relation? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'll be giving you a simple example and try to find it out what would be the domain, codomain, and range. Okay. Suppose I'm giving example as let A is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and the relation R from A to A, okay, by R is equal to x comma y is equal to x plus 1. Okay, so what is a relation they have given, and what is a given set? Okay, you need to observe. A they have given as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, relation they are saying R, relation R from A to A. So A to A itself, okay, we are not having B set here. We need to find it out relation, the set A to A itself. Okay, and how they are giving us relation mathematically? R is equal to x comma y, where y would be equal to x plus 1. Okay, so tell me what would be the order pair we will get in R? Anyone? Just think about it. I'm going to solve it. I just want to ask you. Think about it. What order pair will be getting for this given relation R, where we are finding out relation from A to A. B set we are not having. B as A you have to consider. Anyone? This you have to remember. Okay, y is equal to x plus 1. What are the order pair I'll be getting for relation R? Anyone?
2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7.
2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, and 6, 7. Okay, very good. Okay, student, those are not getting it now. I'll just draw one diagram and you will come to know with the help of diagram how you are correlating the elements from A to A. I mean, for that set itself. See this. This is A. Suppose this is set A. What are the elements they have given? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have to have A again because A to A I need to find it out the relation. A to A, right? So I'll be writing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again, right? So A set I have written. Okay, left side also and right side also. Why A and A again? Because the relation R from A to A we are going to show. Now, what is the mathematical equation they have represented for the relation y is equal to x plus 1? Okay, so x initially I will have as a 2, right? So this 2 I will have as a x. Okay, so the first element from the first set I will have as a 2. But y would be x plus 1? No. So the next element in the order pair would be 2 plus 1. So I will have a connection 2 and 2 to 3. Right or wrong? Okay. So 2 to 3, I'm getting connection and I have got the first order pair that is 2 and 3. Okay. 2 comma 3. Next, I will have 3 and y would be x plus 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So I'll have relation 3 to 4. So 3 comma 4 would be the next order pair I'll get. I'll move to 4. 4 and the y would be x plus 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. Likewise, I'll move 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. Understood, student? So this is how I'm going to find it out, the relation from A to A. This is my relation, student. Okay, I'm finding out the relation from A to A. Okay, and in terms of order pair, how I'll be writing it? R is equal to 2 comma 3, then 3 comma 4, then 4 comma 5, 5 comma 6, and then 6 comma 7. I hope you have understood how we have got those order pair. Yes, student? Clear everyone? Clear everyone? Can I have 7 comma 8 as order pair here? I'm asking to you. Quickly take. Can I have 7,8 here?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Why no? Why no?
Because 8 is not present in the A set.
Right. See, these basic you should be knowing. Okay. So up to 6,7 we will have a order pair. So 6,7 would be our last order pair. Okay. Now you have got the relation. What you have to do is you have to find it out domain, codomain, and range for this relation. Tell me what would be the domain of R now with respect to the definition, whatever I have elaborated. What would be domain of R? I'll write it in a bracket. Yeah. Tell me quickly. Chalo, everyone. Domain of R. What we will have? Students. Okay, I'm getting now. Perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good, student. Okay. I'm getting responses from Shre. This okay, Purnesh, done already. Okay. Your Rohan, Chinmay, Mandar, Apeksha. Okay. What about others? Pranjal, Ayush, Kaurav, Aditya. Okay. Very good. Okay. Similarly, tell me for codomain. Okay. So domain, I'll write here. Domain of R is first element is 2, 3, then first element is 4, 5, and 6. Okay. The very first element I have taken and I have got the domain. Codomain would be entire set D. So what is codomain in this case, student? Quickly type codomain. I want to see. Very good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because in this situation, the B set is A set only. So the codomain would be, I'll write here, codomain of R would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So this is your codomain. Okay. And what would be the range? Let me check what is the range you are giving. Perfect. Rohan, Pranjal, 160, Shreya. Okay. Vasanti, Prathamesh. Okay, student. Very good. Okay. I'm happy that you are giving the responses. Okay. So the range I'm getting it as a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So see this. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is range. Okay. Okay. So range, domain, and codomain. All these three important terms we have studied and we have understood. Okay. Now we will move to the next topic, that is representation of relation. Representation of relation. Okay. So the binary relation can be represented in several ways, student, including now what are the representation? First, you will have set of order pair. Set of ordered pairs. Second, you are having arrow diagram. Third, you are having digraph. And fourth, you are having matrix representation. Okay. Like for a set, we had seen different representation, tabular form, set builder form, right? Order pair form we have seen. Similarly, for relation also, we are having different representation. So let us check out what these representation for the relation we are having. Okay, the first one already we have seen, set of order pair 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, those are the order pair you will be getting. Okay, the second second representation, we will have a arrow diagram. Suppose I'm having, let's set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay, and B is equal to 1, 4, 6, 9. Now I'm saying let R is equal to X comma Y, okay, where Y is divisible by X. Okay, what relation we are having? R is X comma Y, where Y is divisible by X student. Now tell me in a chat box, you can type what would be the order pair you'll be getting for R. Y is divisible by X for the given A and B. Let us check out. Do it. Okay. Doesn't matter it is right, wrong, but you should try and you should give answer. I'm going to show you finally. Anyone? Type it in a chat box. I want to see how you will be doing. Anyone? Not a single one? Okay. I'll show you how to do it. Okay. Now, student, what you have to do is, okay, you have to go sequentially. So, one cross product we are doing now. Same way you have to do. One with 1, 4, 6, 9. Then 2 with 1, 4, 6, 9. Then 3 with 1, 4, 6, 9. Then 4 with 1, 4, 6, 9. And 8 with 1, 4, 6, 9. In that way only you have to give. You have to go. Okay, student? Okay, so whenever you will be finding out any relation, whichever the relation mathematically they have represented, and if you need to find it out, that you will be going in a same flow. Always, student, just remember that. Okay, so we'll go with the same flow, 1 comma 1. Whether 1 comma 1 order pair would be there in this, whether Y is divisible by X here, yes or no? Yes or no, student? Quickly say yes or no. Whether Y is divisible by X. So 1 and 1, this is Y and this is X. Okay, so whether Y is divisible by X in this case, and should I take 1 comma 1 here inside relation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, comma. Now we are moving to what? 1, 4. Whether 1 comma 4 would be the order pair in this relation, which is satisfying this condition, Y is divisible by X. Yes or no? 1 comma 4. So this is X and this is Y. So whether Y is divisible by X here, whether 4 is divisible by 1.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So should I take this inside R?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, perfect. Next, what should be the next order pair, student? 1 comma
1,6.
6.
1,6.
Very good. Then 1 comma 9. Comma. Now next, we have to move with 2. Right now, 1 is done for all elements. 1 to 1 is done. 1 to 4 is done. 1 to 6 is done. 1 to 9 is done. Okay, perfect. So we have done with 1. Now we have to move to 2, right? Again for 2, we have to iterate. 1, 4, 6, 9. So tell me whether 2, 1 would be there as order pair in R.
No, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. So 2 would be X and 1 would be Y. So Y, 1 is not divisible by 2. So that pair would not be there in this relationship. Okay. Now move to, now 2, 1 we cannot take, right? So move to the next one, 2, 4. Can I have 2 comma 4 here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So 2 comma 4 I can have because X is 2 and Y is 4 and Y is divisible by X, that is 4 is divisible by 2. So I can have 2 comma 4. 2 comma 6 I can have? Yes. Can I have 2 comma 9? No. So I will not write 2 comma 9. Now I'll move to 3. 3 to 1, can I have 3 to 1? No. Can I have 3 to 4? No. Can I have 3 to 6? Yes, I can have 3 to 6. Can I have 3 to 9? Yes, I can have 3 to 9. It's done, right? So this 3, 9, I'll write here, 3, 9. Okay, done. Then 3 is done. Similarly, for 4 you have to do. Okay, so 4, can I have 4 to, okay, can I have 4 to
No,
1?
ma'am.
No. Then can I have 4 to 4?
Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
have 4 to 4 student?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 4 comma 4. Can I have 4 to 6? No. Can I have 4 to 9? No. Okay, move to 8. 8 to 1? No. 8 to 4? No. 8 to 6? No. 8 to 9? No. Okay, here y divisible by x we have to check. So nothing is matching for x student. Okay, so we'll be stopping here and we'll have a relation. Now we have got the relation 1 1 1 4 1 6 1 9 2 4 2 6 3 6 3 9 and 4 4. I hope you have understood how we have got relation. Everyone is clear? Just put it in a chat box. Yes or no? Everyone. Everyone is clear how we have got the relation, student? Any doubt in this? See, student, these are very basic steps. Once, okay, if you're not able to properly get the R, okay, rest of the problem would be 0. You'll be getting 0 if your relation is incorrect. So getting a correct relation is most important term, okay, in problem solving for this unit, student. Okay, that's why I'm asking it again and again, and I'm going very slow. Okay, done. So I hope you have understood how to get R. Now for this R, this is what the order pair, set of order pair representation we have got. The second representation we are having as arrow diagram. So arrow diagram, how you will be putting arrow diagram here? This is suppose A and this is suppose B, right? So A may you are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 and B may you are having 1, 4, 6, 9. And what the relation order pair you are getting? 1 and 1. So 1 to 1 we will connect. Okay. 1 4. 1 to 4 we will connect, right? 1 6. 1 to 6 we will connect. Then 1 9. 1 to 9 we will connect, right? Then 2 4. Then 2 to 4 will connect. 2 6. 2 to 6 will connect. 3 6. 3 to 6 will connect. 3 9. 3 to 9 will connect. And 4 4. 4 to 4 will connect. Okay, so this is in between you are going to write R. So basically this is what this is showing the relation between set A to set. Okay, so this is the second representation, that is arrow diagram. Okay, now let me show you what is digraph. Okay, so for digraph, what I'll do in a node term, I'm going to write down. So the very first order pair I'm getting as 1 1. So I have to have a node 1, right? Then after 1 1 1 4 1 6 1 9, I'm getting 2, right? So suppose 2 1 to 1 is connected. So 1 to 1 I'll be writing 1 to 4. So immediately I will have 4 here, somewhere here. Okay. And 1 to 6 also connected. So 6 I'll be having here. And 1 to 9 also connected. So 9 I'll be writing over here. So this is 9. Okay. So what I'll do here in a diagram, 1 to 1 connected. So self loop I will have for the node 1. So each and every element in a R, I'm considering it as a node and I'm putting it in a circle. Okay. If you observe. Now for self relation, okay, this arrow I'll be putting towards the node itself. Okay. So 1 to 1 relation. This is what the symbol is. 1 to 1. Done. 1 to 4, I'll put arrow 1 to 4 here. 1 to 6, I'll put arrow here. 1 to 9, I'll put arrow here. Right? Now it is done. Now go to the next order pair 2 to 4. So somewhere here 2 is connected to 4 also, 2 is connected to 6 also. So somewhere here I'll be putting 2, right? So 2 is connected to 4, 2 is connected to 6. Okay. Now I have to get 3. Now 3 is connected to 6 and 9. So I can have a location here, somewhere here. 3 to 6 and 3 to 9. Okay. And finally, so this would be a digraph, okay, for the given relation R. Okay. So what you need to do, student, whenever you will get the R now, you try to get the nodes for each and every element in the R and try to connect it with its pair. Okay. That's it. Okay. And finally, you will be getting the diagram. So simple it is. And the next one is matrix. I hope you are drawing it and you are writing it in a notebook. So I need to write the relation again to show how you are going to represent it in a matrix form. 1 comma 1 we are having, 1 comma 4 we are having, 1 comma 6 we are having, 1 comma 9, then we are having 2 comma 4, 2 comma 6, 3 comma 6, 3 comma 9, and then 4 comma 4. This is a relation we have got. Now, if I want to represent relation using matrix, how do I do it? I will represent as MR. Okay, MR. So relation matrix. MR stand for relation matrix. Okay, so I will have A here. I will have B here. Okay, so what are the elements of A? A elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So I'll be writing the elements of A here on the left side, and on upper side I'll be writing the element of B, that is 1, 4, 6, 9. This is a given set. A and B are given. So what I have to do? I have to write the elements of A on the left side, and on upper side I have to write the elements of B. Now, whatever the relation we have got here, that I need to represent in a matrix form. So what I'm going to do here, student, whatever the order pair I'm getting, no, for those order pair entries, I'm putting it as a 1. So 1 to 1, 1 comma 1 I'm getting, so I'm putting 1. Whether I'm getting 1 comma 4, 1 to 4, yes, I'm putting 1. 1 to 6, 1. 1 to 9, 1. Whether I'm getting 2 comma 1, no, 2, 1 I'm not getting, so I'll put 0. So whenever I'm getting a connection between the two elements from the set A and B, there I'm putting as 1. Rest of the thing I'm putting at 0. No connection, I'm putting 0. So 2, 1, 0. But I'm getting 2, 4. Yes, I'm getting 2, 4 here. So 1. 2, 6 I'm getting 1. 2, 9, no relation, 0. 3, 1, no relation, 0. 3, 4, no relation, 0. 3 to 6, yes, a relation is there and I have got the pair 1. 3, 9, relation is there 1. Whether 4, 1, no relation. 4, 4, yes, I'm getting the relation. 4, 6, no relation. 4, 9, no relation. 8, no relation for any element from the set B. Okay, this is how I'm going to get the relation matrix for the given set B. And yes, student, have you got this? Who is talking? Any problem is there? Please mute yourself, student, please. Okay, done. So this is what the relation matrix is. Okay, so here relation matrix, whenever you will they will ask you to find it out relation matrix, you have to write it, you have to start with MR. MR is a relation matrix. Okay, and suppose I'm writing MIJ here. What is this MIJ represents? Who is talking? I need to see. Ayush, roll number 102. Ayush, are you there? Please mute yourself. Yeah. Okay. So MIJ. MIJ will represent what? It will represent a value for given ith row and jth column. Okay, whether it is 1 or 0. This is how you are going to represent the relation in a matrix form. Okay, so the number of rows in MR will be equal to number of elements in A, and number of column in MR will be equal to number of elements in B. And if Mij is equal to 1, what is the meaning of Mij is equal to 1? That means corresponding row column elements are, it will show that the corresponding row and ith row and jth column elements are related to each other if the value is 1. If the value is 0, that means those elements are not related to each other. Okay, so these are the representation of relation. Okay, then we will move to the types of relation. I think it's 10:26. We will stop here. Okay, in the next lecture, we are going to see the important stuff, that is types of relation, properties of binary relation, and then we will move to problem solving. Okay, so these basic concepts you should be knowing. Okay? And the basic concept should be clear. Okay, I hope you have got whatever the things we have seen in a today's lecture. Okay, student. So just tell me, student, whether are you ready for oral attendance? Everyone is comfortable with oral attendance? Say something. Okay. So one by one, you can start. Roll number 1, 2, 3. You have to say your roll number, and accordingly, I will mark for yours. Okay. Yeah, you can start. Roll number 1.
1 present.
2 present.